All right, this is E for eminywizard.com and marketwizards.com. And a reminder that trading is a risky proposition. And certainly with these large swings of 50 to 75 to 100 point swings within a day, everything is compressed time-wise. And if you are on the wrong side of the trade, you will get hurt. So a reminder to use risk capital you can afford to lose. And always put a leash on your trades. Don't let trades run against you. And reminder on our website, take a look at our disclosures. We remind traders of that idea. Don't forget we have a webinar coming up. Love to see some of you there. Hope you can make it. Register now button is right there on our website. Going to be opening up pretty soon. We had said earlier in the room, using that 94 for a resistance, see if anything happened backside. If you trade overnight, most of us do not. And obviously once it hit the 82s and held and pushed back up, it started to drive overnight and has kept on going without any pullbacks of significance. This double is the key to today's trading. We had said prior to these new highs, if you wanted to test and take out that 07 idea, then you wanted to use the 98.25 supports that we saw at the time, and just use that as your stop if you're playing the long side convenient trade, jumping in rather than coming back and doing a regression trade. I felt that was a shoe-in to knock that out. And then the question, of course, how much further is it going to go? Nobody knows. We just try to make educated guesses, and like a baseball batter, you know, you're going to guess at the pitch. You're going to swing at some and get them, and you're going to miss a few, and some are going to be fly balls, and some are going to land in there for base hits, and others are going to be home runs. You'd never know until you enter the trade, as Jesse Livermore said. All right, and with the market opening, reminder, probably gonna play whack-a-mole. Got trapped traders, and we're going to use that 98 to 02 as the first key support zone. You just have to, just psychologically. Is 2,700. Anybody that is coming short side, think about them as scalps against the 2-day trend, 2.5-day trend. And there is a hidden pivot, obviously just above us. That was 1875 to 1775. So that's got to be the next objective for the longs, in my opinion. So we're using that. Anybody wants to scalp short, we're using that idea as resistance. Retest is 07. And I think hit and run. I don't think this is going to be a close your eyes and short type of transaction. I think we've got trap shorts right now, and we do have first of the month. I think anybody who is buying at the open, be very careful. Risk 1 to 2 points and no more than that. Don't let this get away from you. Obviously, the objective of the boys, try to take out that 2375 high. And we've got crazy targets today that are possible, but as we get closer to them, risk and reward is possibly an issue as well. So let's take it step by step. And this so far is a rabid dog day that has been done in overnight. Strong lift and then squeeze all night long. First of the month bias is part of it. I think we're going to get a two-way day, but I think the shorts have to endure some pain first because there's so many that got trapped. So they're going to get squeezed. And my recommendation, especially if you're newer to this business, right now, you're probably risking a couple points to make a couple points. So if you don't like the odds, just stay sideline. There are going to be times like this when we have what we call a stolen range. And this is one of them, not only by the virtue of the overnight push, but by virtue of where we were yesterday at late lunch, and then obviously the day before. So that doesn't negate the idea that we can go higher, but realistically, I'm expecting that at some point we're going to run into a stone wall and come back and get a good short. So don't be the first one. Look for some evidence that the big boys are starting to say, okay, that's enough. Now, this is the 15-minute chart. I said I'm going to use the 15-minute RTH chart. And obviously we can see that this is the taking out that high. So we've got to get back under that or else the squeeze continues. And obviously this high over here is the next controlling high. So this is a target for the boys at some point. And the question is, where is the best risk and reward if you like the long side to try to jump in, get on board. And think two directions today. Don't be like most of the traders you see on Twitter. They're just one-directional traders. They're always cheering for the long side or they're always cheering for the short side. Be a trader. It doesn't matter as long as it's moving. Our dilemma, of course, is the stuff that you miss when you're sleeping overnight. What are you going to do? That's part of the game. So we can see that we're a long way from where we were. Well, we can go to any high today in a squeeze, but I caution you to think reasonably about this distance that we have gone. Somebody asked the other day about an undercut low. We were talking about that. This is an undercut low right there. Remember how yesterday we said we're going to keep 27 as our support, right? So now you can really see the power of an undercut low. Took out that low and then came right back up through it, and it's kept on bouncing. That's what we mean by undercut low. And they're very powerful because only in hindsight, this was an undercut low over here, right? And then it falls again. And this one over here. And then it falls again. So you don't know until hindsight. We have suggested anybody wants to scalp short using that 18 target as resistance. And the call is to try to nibble backwards a little bit, see if we can't retest that 07 and anything else you can get below that. Because that was a prior high. And a reminder, trading exists for us to take something out of the market, not to catch every last little wiggle. That's impossible. Get on the scoreboard. I told you earlier today, you get a couple of points early, grab it, put it in your pocket, use it as seed capital, try for larger trades. That's what seed capital is all about. Okay, that 98 that we had talked about obviously has become a middle. That's going to be a key idea in today's trading. And I suggest to shorts to think about this as whack-a-mole. Win with a trailer. You get a couple of points put in your pocket. They add up, singles and doubles. I think we're going to get some chop. I think anybody that buys aggressively this morning, you get a couple of points in your direction, then you just put a stop right behind and keep moving it up. See if you can get a little bit more. And anybody that is playing now on the long side, very aggressive trades. These are bot type trades. And from a risk reward standpoint, probably about equal because we have so many trap shorts. But ultimately, I think we need to spend some time consolidating. So unfortunately, that means stolen range, and we've already used up a good portion of what I would think would be today's range already. And that's hard to say with conviction because of these 100-point type days that we get. So for shorts, don't make everybody who's strapped, don't make their problems our problem. That's the name of the game. And the only way this comes backwards is if we hit an area that the generals say, no, you don't. We're not going any further than that. So expectation today, buy a pullback, ride it for a few points. And if we get a couple of points with a wind that's currently blowing this direction, beginning of the month, great. And then drop losers fast because who knows how far they come back once they start. I mean, come on. Look, we've already had a 100-point trade, right, from the 03 area to the 03 area. And next look, we're obviously looking up here at that 17 area. So you get above this high today, you make sure that if it comes back below this, you're very conservative. Don't hang on to losers. Because it's my belief that right now we're a little bit overextended. So here's our 5-minute chart. We obviously know that we're ahead of that. And I found with these type moves, normally on the way back, they don't go anywhere near as far as you want them to go. So these are bots that are controlling the market right now. And human traders are saying, I don't want to buy this. It's too high. And it is too high based on where we were yesterday, but still, you can't fight the tape. Let's think a small range for our IB. And if it gets past the 1775 to 1875, then obviously the next target that you're looking at is trying to knock out that 2375, and that will be resistance until broken. It's never too high to buy, but the odds and the risk reward ideas are terrible. $17.75 to $18.75 was the target zone. Anybody that's long side stops up. And if you take a short and it doesn't work, swing and a miss, that's okay. Those of you who are conservative will want to wait and see that a general is starting to push back instead of you being the one trying to push back. And this is part of a squeeze type move. Anybody that gets to that 1775 to 1875 paid for sure. There's trapped shorts that are just being squeezed. Now we'll take a look at another chart to show you where that target came from. And again, I'm still thinking stolen range. Going to take some backing and filling and whack-a-mole type trades. And before we're done, I'm expecting that low to get taken out too. We'll see.